life is short. You know, we don't know when it's our time. We don't know when it's our loved one's time. I know. And so to be able to really embrace the joy gems of life, those simple pleasures that we were talking about. And I think, you know, we created these joy cards to help people reconnect and help that they can get their joy back in whatever way. And the cards help, we hope, help people do that.
I think,
you know, because that's what everybody deserves.
Yeah. It's a reminder, isn't it? It's a practice, but it's also a reminder, and it just is easy. It's an easy thing to do. So it's a great way to just start if you're struggling with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Happiness from Within. Wherever you are in the world, I'm so ecstatic for you to be here today. So today we not only have one guest, but we have two amazing, beautiful souls. And I'm honored to have them here on Happiness from Within. And as you guys know, the whole purpose here of Happiness from Within is to touch people's hearts and souls at a very deep level through interviews to help you come out of the darkness and into the light. So I have here two beautiful souls. I have Michelle Burke and Lilamani De Silva are here to share how to find the joy gems in life. And they're going to be talking about the new Oracle deck. So I actually have them here. Hi, ladies. How are you today?
Hi, Janet. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. You know, actually, what I forgot to tell you, my name is spelled like Janet, but it's actually pronounced Jeanette. So.
Oh, Jeanette. Oh, great. Thank you.
Well, there you go.
So let's go ahead and dive in. One of the questions I love to ask is, before you introduce, what is it that lights your soul on fire?
Wow. That's a deep question. I mean, for me, I'd say relationships, you know, feeling connected on a deep level and having meaningful conversation. And I think the other piece of that is also making a difference, being able to really make a positive difference in the world, like you are with this program. That really lights me up at a soul level. Like, I feel like that's a divine purpose, if you will. And I think Lilamani and I share that. Don't you think, Lilamani?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a similar mission, I think, we always say, and a purpose in life. So, and other things really light me up as well, just the world in general, nature. And I get very excited by nature and doing stuff outside, exercising. So I could probably go on with a very long list. And I'll stop right there.
That's beautiful. So yeah, tell us, where did all this whole journey begin? Like, how did you guys meet each other? And also, Lami, if I can ask you a favor, if you can speak just a little bit closer to the microphone, just so we can hear you. Yeah, there we go.
Sure, absolutely.
But yeah, anybody that'd like to start, I'd love to hear how your guys' business started, a little bit about yourself, where you came from.
Okay. Well, I'll jump in, and then Lilamani we'll do a tag team here, like we do often. So we actually met in Seattle, Washington. I was delivering a keynote for Microsoft's Worldwide Conference, and Lilamani was there as a producer for the Discovery Channel. And we got introduced by an acquaintance. And literally from the moment we met, you know, when you were talking about soul and connection, we really believed that we were divinely guided to meet, like that it was serendipity. And when we met, we immediately realized that we had shared a lot of things, but one that was very obvious was our ruckus laughter, right, Lilamani?
Yes, we like to laugh out loud, which is really important for us,
true.
I think. And just makes the hard times easier, you know. But I think, yeah, definitely. And we've got a lot of similarities in the sense that we've moved around a lot. So we both have had to adapt to different environments. And our fathers have played a major influence in our lives as well. So we do have a lot in common.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm also just very inspired to always see women, right, standing up, starting businesses. So tell us a little bit about where the creation of your business came from, the name of your business, and how it all started.
Well, Energy Catalyst Group started, gosh, I don't remember how many years ago, but I've been doing consulting, training, and coaching for 20 plus years. And I had a mentor along with my father who really helped me launch that business to get into that field, which was predominantly male dominated at the time. And Lilamani, when Lilamani and I met, we both realized we wanted to make a difference and wanted to make products that helped people connect. And Lilamani, maybe you could talk a little bit more about how our connection and the products that we focused on.
Yes, I think we go back a long way, don't we? But what's brought us together? I come from a very different background, actually. So I come from the sciences, and as you can see, I've also done the art for the cards, but that wasn't something that I really realized I had a talent in. And Michelle brought that to light for me a little bit, because we challenged one another to do the things we loved. And this was many years ago when we started writing a book called 15-Minute Pause. And I suppose the joy cards are an extension of that. But yes, we come from different angles, but that's what makes us so strong as well in many ways. We bring unique sort of talents together.
I love that. The 15-minute or 15-second pause.
15-minute pause.
So let's talk about that. That's very interesting. So for our audience that's listening, what is one thing that a beautiful soul can do today to take a 15-minute pause? What is one piece of advice that you would give in 1 minute or less?
Is that a question? Oh, there's so many things. I think you've got to go back to maybe what you love or what you haven't done in a long while, and you're sort of maybe searching. Things keep running through your mind, like I wish I was painting again, or wish I could walk and do some exercise, or I don't know. There's so many different. Who knows? But it's like if something keeps calling you, I think you have to listen to that little voice. And that's your intuition saying, break, and you need to do a little something. And the reason it's 15 minutes is because it's very, very easy to do. So, you don't have to take an hour out to anything. So there's no real excuses. It's just a little break and away from the busy schedule of life. Isn't that right, Michelle?
It is. And we really, the way we even got to do that is as Lilamani mentioned earlier, we challenged each other to take a 15-minute pause, to actually go back and do something that we wanted to do. And that really launched both of us. Lilamani started painting again, and I started getting out and walking every day. And I thought, if I can't walk for 15 minutes, I've got a problem. I mean, there's no excuse. I can literally walk out my door and take a 15-minute walk. And I have to say, I timed it because I just thought 15 minutes is going to be, I don't know if I can even manage that. And pretty soon the 15 minutes became longer than 15 minutes. Once I got out the door and realized, oh gosh, this is really nice. This is like I could breathe and fresh air. And I was checking out my neighborhood, and pretty soon 15 minutes, some days were 20 or 30 minutes. And some days were just 15 minutes, but that was a real start of me taking time for myself that I think we often think we don't deserve, or we make up excuses about that we don't have that time for ourselves, that we have to do all these other things first. We got to take care of our kids. We obviously have to work. We have to take care of other responsibilities, right? Like we have this mental checklist, and I have a written checklist of all the things I need to do, and doing something for myself isn't typically on my list. And so I think that's a good place to start, is to think about, what can I do for myself today? One thing, just one thing.
Instead of the to-dos, what's the love tos? What do you love to do?
Wow, those words, like I'm literally crying some tears right now, because that was really deep what you guys shared. That really resonates. Yeah,
it's very important,
because something I really love to do is I love to sing, and I haven't done it for so long. And there's a lot of people I know that's listening right now that can really relate to this, because I feel that, especially everything that our world's been going through, this pandemic.
I think, we do really, honestly, forget how to give back to ourselves. But what's so important about giving back to yourself is that you actually it allows you to get through the really tough times. It's not no life is never a straight line. It's always messy, full of stuff. So if you never make time for you, I mean, you've got to ask yourself, what's the point? What do you want out of life, really?
I just feel like a lot of people out there have really lost themselves, right? Even though this pandemic allowed us to slow down, but it's just like I feel a lot of people are really suffering, are really lost right now. So I just really feel what you guys are sharing is very deep, and thank you for bringing it to light. And those of you that are listening or watching this on YouTube, I just encourage you, just like both of these ladies are saying, find that one thing, your intuition that's telling you, and the first thing that comes up for you, it's probably that one thing. It could be even something, as Michelle was saying, to go for a walk, right? So yeah, wow, that really touched my heart. Thank you for sharing that. That's really deep.
Yes, I can see there's something in you that you feel you should have been doing this, and it's something missing. Yeah, it's a love, obviously, that you need to go back to.
Yeah, I work with women that are I'm a holistic health coach. And I help women to heal from chronic illness, and whether it's chronic illness or any sort of condition, right? Even mentally, physically, spiritually, it can really take a toll on the body, and even just that, sometimes taking 15 minutes it's challenging because you're trying to deal with what you're dealing with, right? But even if you start with a minute, right? Maybe you don't have that 15 minutes, right? But I think it's like you guys were saying, it's about starting somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a kickstart.
And that's how the joy cards actually came about too. We were, like what you just brought up, Janae, about the pandemic. We were like everyone else, stressed out and anxious and fearful of like, what is this all about? And how long is this going to last? And how do you get through this? Right. I mean, we were in lockdown, and it was a very difficult time. I got a bad case of COVID, and so I was recovering from that. And Lilamani was taking care of her parents and in New Zealand, and we were just talking over Zoom like we usually do.
Thousands of hours over Zoom.
Yeah, literally. We should have invested in Zoom, Lilamani. And we realized we needed to do something to help ourselves get out of this dark place and because it was so easy to get caught up in the fear of it all and the anxiety of it all and the stress of it all that's real. And so in a similar way, like we did before with the 15-minute challenge, we said to ourselves, what can we do? What's one thing that we can do that brings us joy? Like, why not reconnect with that just one thing? And we each, and having a buddy, to do things with makes it a little bit easier. And even if you can't think of, it doesn't have to be somebody that's in your area, like Lilamani and I are in different countries, and yet we were able to help each other do one thing. And some days we didn't do anything, some days just like anybody else, we just didn't get it together to do, or we got caught up in whatever else was going on in our life. And we supported each other anyway. We kept saying, that's all right. Tomorrow's a new day. We do the thing tomorrow. And I mean, I can only speak for myself, but that made such a big difference. Like, that helped me tremendously, because it wasn't easy, and it's still not. Let's be honest. The world has changed dramatically, and like Lilamani was saying earlier, tough days. I mean, the joy helped. That one little bit of joy, whether you, like you said, Janae, that whether it's a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, doesn't matter what the time is. It's the to give that moment to yourself that you deserve to have. And when you're joyful, that joy is contagious. Lilamani loves to talk about the busyness. Go ahead, Lilamani.
Joy. I know. For me, joy makes my busy day better. Absolutely. Yeah. I can't survive without having a little bit of joy every day. It's a special treat, You have to treat yourself. I mean, goodness, you do so much stuff for others, and life is difficult. So you have to treat yourself. But and as you say, we talk about it being contagious, because when you're happy, and self-love is so important. You make others happy as well. Your kids or other people around you can feel that happiness and joy.
It's wonderful. So I would love for you to pull one of those cards. Can you talk a little bit about your deck and the intention behind it? And
yes, and I will just say, I'll show first of all this is what the deck looks like. And I will just say that Lilamani did all the paintings. Every single card has a unique painting. And I'm just going to share a few of them because they're just literally, they are works of art. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I'll just share a few different styles because they're so magnificent.
Wow.
They just have, look at the flowers on that. I mean, I've told Lilamani this. I'm a big fan, as you can see. I mean, they're very Monet-like. Some of them are Monet-like or a little Van Gogh-ish, very impressionistic. And then there's 4 categories that we have. So we have 4 categories. Lilamani, why don't you talk about the 4 categories, and I'm going to show them the different colors.
Yeah, so there's the mind, body, heart, and soul, because I think each of these areas, you may be depleted in some way. So, for example, your mind might be overactive, and you might want to calm it down. So we have some exercises, activities, fun things that you can do to do that. And then let's say relationships, you might want to, you haven't talked to someone for a long time, or even flirting. There's so many wonderful things you can do that you tend to forget. So it's about connection. And then there's the body, which is really important, to love your own body and to keep it active, because we say it is your temple. You have to manage it and maintain it and eat well and all that. But and then what is there? The soul, which is the inside. So joy from the inside out.
That's right. And each, just as Lilamani was talking about, I'll pick a card, and maybe what you guys can do, if you want, Janae, why don't you just tell me when to stop, and then I'll pick a card, and that'll be your card. How about if we do that? Okay. So you just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. So this says, stretch it out. Flex it good. Stretching improves flexibility and posture. Reach for the stars or touch your toes. Will you make this a daily habit? And then in our guidebook, which is really fun. So this has a number on it. It says number 31. And there's a guidebook here. And what I'll do is I'll just read to you what we have in the guidebook. And it shares a little bit more information about the wellness benefits of what that particular activity is. So stretching it out. It says, most of us know that stretching improves flexibility and posture. However, many don't realize that stretching has many other health benefits, including injury prevention, increased nutrients, reduced soreness, a calm mind, releasing tension, and increasing energy, all from a stretch. Now, who would have known? Just a few minutes of stretching increases the blood flow through your entire body. Jennifer Warthen, a certified personal trainer, says it wakes you up and helps you feel less sluggish. So regular stretching can relieve stiff muscles and creaky joints, and you can reap the benefits with just a few range of motion exercises, including shoulder shrugs, some wrist bends, right? Knee lifts. I won't do the knee lifts on right now because that would look very strange. And anything that keeps your muscles and your joints moving. And flexibility training is something most people put off when it comes to fitness. Yet the reality is stretching allows you to have improved mobility. And stretching helps move the lymph fluids through your system and keep your joints flexible and lubricated. This means you'll have a better range of motion, which translates to more effective workouts. And dynamic stretching is recommended before a workout to increase your body temperature and your flexibility. Time to reach those arms to the sky and then touch your toes.
Wow.
It's
So
very
it's packed
easy
full.
to do. Doesn't take very long, and
Yeah.
it's done and easy.
Wow.
So each of these cards, Janae, has information in here about the wellness benefits for every single one of them.
There's one about music as well, actually.
Oh wow. Can we pull one more card for our listeners?
Yes, let's do it. Okay, so let me get them mixed up, and then you just tell me when to stop. Okay, wait a second. Let me get them. Okay.
I'm gonna let Lalami say when to stop.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh. Stop.
All righty. This says redesign your space. Create a cozy corner. Create a cozy corner or a sacred space in your home. This is where you can relax and unwind. Where will your nook be? So this is card number 7. And I'm going to read what number 7 says.
Can I see that picture, guys? Is that like the Taj Mahal or something? It's like so beautiful.
No, it's
Isn't that
it's
gorgeous?
actually, it's in London. It's St. Paul's.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't she talented?
Very talented, my God.
Yes. She's got a natural God-given talent that we're lucky enough to have on the back of all the cards. They're just, for me, they're extraordinary. Okay, so this is what it says. Here are the health benefits. Creating a sacred space in your home will give you a physical area that feels like a mini sanctuary, giving you the headspace to take a pause and reflect daily. The first step is to find a place in your home, garage, or yard that is considered distraction-free. Create a nook that doesn't have a lot of electronics and isn't a workplace. It doesn't tempt you to do the daily tasks. Rather, it's essential for us to have a retreat and a sanctuary from our daily to-dos. Research shows there are health benefits associated with creating sacred spaces in our home that can help us de-stress, relax, and unwind. Creating a comfortable space in your home to sit and savor a cup of tea, take a cat nap, or read a good book is vital for your well-being. Calming the mind and relaxing is an integral part of self-care. Taking time for self-reflection can also help make your mind, body, and spirit stronger, and over time, develop more resilience. The good news is that you have the perfect excuse to take time out in your cozy space away from the hustle and bustle of life. Isn't that?
Well, No, please go ahead.
I was just going to say, so that was redesign your space. And that's something we can all do. We don't think about that. We don't think about our home or our yard or, the space that we live in as an area that we could carve out. It doesn't have to be a big space. And it doesn't have to be a separate room. It could be simply a chair with a little side table with a candle on it, or, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a room that we think we have to convert,
Exactly.
Wow. No, it just gave me goosebumps because we were literally just talking about that and now having that space for the 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's funny how things work, isn't it, Janae? But you know a lot about that. That's what this show's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just really want to thank you for sharing those. Where is that something people can buy on Amazon, or where is that available at? What's the name of can you hold up the deck again? The front cover of they're just
Simple.
called
It's
Joy
Joy
Cards.
Cards.
Very simple.
You can't go wrong. And you can find it at Amazon. You can find it at Barnes & Noble and Target and various other indie stores. Go and ask your local stores to and then
they have it at Target? Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, I just go and ask, and yes, we'll see.
When did you guys create those? When did they come out? When were they published?
March of this year.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. It took us 2 years to come up with the ideas and the concept and all the cards and, and then, here we are, which is fantastic. It's lovely to see something you've created come to life.
Oh my God. Yes. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So can we go back to that book for a second? Is that something else that you guys that's available, the 15-minute pause?
It is. Yes. And that's also available on Amazon as well.
That's great. Is there, I just feel like Spirit just wants me to ask something else you can share in that book, the 15-minute pause. Just anything from your heart you'd like to share of what we can do to take a 15-minute pause. Or if you want to pick up the book and you want to go to a page, I'd love to hear something.
Michelle, why don't you tell them the story about the love? The love.
Oh, well, I don't think that's from the 15-minute pause, is it?
Oh, maybe not.
No,
could be.
But
you know what? Break. It was a team building session. Remember?
Oh, right. But I think that was Joy Cards.
That's fine. If there's something that came to heart you want to share, Lilamani, we can always come back to the 15-minute pause. There was something you wanted to share?
No, it's Michelle's
Well,
story.
she was wanting me to share this story. That actually was one of the reasons, one of the cards that's in our Joy Cards is called Love to Love. And it stems from a team building program I was doing. And during the 15-minute pause activity, so it does talk about we had them each take 15 minutes, but they were not allowed to do anything with technology. So they couldn't access their phones or their computers. And people were really struggling with, like, what are they going to do with themselves for those 15 minutes? And this one gentleman who's an engineer sat down and wrote a love letter to his wife. And and the next day he came back and shared what happened. And he said that not only was his wife overjoyed and overwhelmed with just love for him, she reminded him that he used to write her love letters all the time in the beginning of their courtship, in the beginning of their marriage. And they'd been married for 20 years and he just sort of stopped. And that love letter sparked a whole new thing in their marriage. And he was he was glowing when he was talking. And I have to tell you, all the other men in the room were like, And how something is so small, I guess that, and I'm so glad Lilamani brought this up. Something so small, Janae, that we think something has to take a lot of time or cost a lot of money in order for us to do something or to make an impact. And here's something so small, sitting down and just writing a simple love letter to someone that he genuinely loves, and what that impact did for her and their relationship. And anybody could do that. For the listeners that are sitting there wondering, you could write a love letter to somebody right now. And it doesn't have to be a romantic love. It could be a family or friend, somebody that's made a positive difference in your life. And it will make a difference for you writing it, as well as the person that you're giving it to.
Wow. Or even to go deeper, write a love letter to yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ooh, love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yes. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And Michelle, we talked about the meddler and the player in the book, 15-minute pause, actually. So, I mean.
Yeah. That's funny. That's where I was going to go, Lilamani, before you brought up the love letter. So, Janae, when you were talking about what in the book would be something to share with the listeners, this concept of meddler and the player. So I believe, and I came up with this many years ago, that there's two little voices that are battling within us at all times. And I've named the meddler as the negative, naysayer, the one that wants to stop you from doing something joyful, the one that comes up with all the excuses as to why you can't take a 15-minute pause. And the meddler has a megaphone. I'll just tell you that straight up. Like, it is loud in our head. And it's got a list of excuses a mile long. And then the player voice is the positive one. It's the cheerleader. It's the one that says, yes, you deserve that 15-minute pause. It's the one that says, yes, of course you need to live and deserve a joyful life. And yes, you do carry something positive around with you. You do have talents. You have strengths. You have all these wonderful things. That's the player voice. The problem with the player voice is it's quieter. It's softer because we haven't really been able to tune into it as well as we hear that meddler voice that's so loud with that megaphone. And in our book, The 15-Minute Pause, we talk about the meddler and the player and how to quiet that meddler voice, that megaphone meddler voice, and really tune in and listen to the player voice and help you recognize it. So when you do hear it, you can pay more attention to it and go, oh yeah, that's the one I need to be listening to.
Wow. That's beautiful. Lami, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, I suppose also on top of that, that's quite a lot for everyone to take in probably, but we have these coined the term joy gems, actually.
I couldn't hear you.
Joy gems. We coined the term joy gems, which is just everyday, lovely, simple pleasures that we tend to forget because we always think something has to be magnificent and huge to make an impact on our life. But actually, every day we have joy. It's in little ways, little forms. You know, I laugh when I love my nieces. When they're laughing, I laugh. It really brings joy to me, you know, or I don't know, I love observing little bees on flowers, feeding on flowers. It's just the simple things. And we sometimes miss these things because we're so busy and preoccupied with other things. And that's where joy is so unexpected. And the more you observe these little things or become more aware of it, the more they come into your life, actually. And you'll start to notice how little changes happen step by step.
And you know what she just said, that's a great example, Janae, of the player, right? Like the player will start to pay attention to those simple pleasures like tasting your coffee in the morning or recognizing that hot shower. You know, we're racing through our day. Most of us are just racing through our day. We're in automatic mode and we're missing those things that are right there in front of us every single day. And we're not recognizing it. And we're not saying, oh, wow, gosh, that hot shower was amazing. Or, I mean, even for me, for drinking my coffee in the morning, I was one of those who's like, get the coffee, click, 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 drink it quick. Where's the caffeine? You know, when's that caffeine going to kick in so I can start my day instead of like stopping and going, wait a minute. I actually like the taste of coffee. I really enjoy my whole coffee ritual now. And now I'm appreciating it more. And that just brings a smile to my face. That brings me a little bit of joy as I start my day or walking my dog. You know, I appreciate getting outside and being able to walk the dog. And Lilamani was talking about even noticing like the little bees on a flower. Like we miss so many things because we're moving so quickly or because our mind is so preoccupied that we don't even notice it. And yet, we all have access to it. Every single listener right now has access to that joy if we listen and tune into our little player voice to pay attention to it. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's true what you ladies are saying, just how little things like that make a difference because it's really the little things that we do on a daily basis. If you don't mind, I just want to share a brief story of just another incredible woman that just has she's not alive anymore. Her name is Uziola McCarthy, and she was a washer lady woman. Okay. And she used to wash other people's clothes. And she used to go to the bank every day and just make these little these deposits that people would think are very insignificant. And long story short, she, over her lifetime, up until she was about 80, she accumulated about $250,000, right? And when she went to the bank, you know, she was like, well, I want to be able to, you know, give some of this money to like my nephews and all these things. And a good chunk of that money, though, she donated it to, she's like, I want to give the scholarship to African-American children that still know how to dream.
Wow.
And so what ended up happening moving forward is she, I'm not sure how her story came about, but she, basically there was a very wealthy person that said, wow, if a washer lady can give all her money away, then I can give away $1 billion. And that's exactly what happened. And she ended up getting an honorary doctorate, right? And so this woman, the point of the story is that, the reporter, when she said, they asked, what is it that is your dream, right? And she says, well, my dream is to maybe see the first student graduate, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. And 1 month before she passed away, she was able to see that person graduate, right?
Oh,
and the beautiful point about the story is that, right, like she made these little insignificant deposits, but it's like these little, maybe these moments of joy that we give to ourselves, right? Or whatever it means, time with your children, or those little deposits into the bank, right? And this was what one of the reporter went to the student. They're like, did you hear what happened to your benefactor? And you know what they said? They said, heaven couldn't have gotten a better angel.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
It's wonderful, beautiful. Isn't it?
Beautiful.
Deposits of love.
Yes, I was just thinking, Lilamani, you took the word. That's what I was thinking too.
Love.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we all have a huge mission on this planet.
Yes.
Yeah. I think a lot of us, I think giving is very important actually as well. It makes you feel amazing. It's called the helper's high. The scientific version of, the happy hormone is you get a helper's high. And that's every reason to keep on giving, really.
Right. Giving gives back to you. You think you're giving to others, but really the gift comes back to you tenfold. Yeah.
Michelle always pays for the person behind her when she's at the toll gates.
I do.
And so it's quite a surprise for the person who comes driving along and finds that they've already been paid for. It's a little thing, but it makes a difference. It makes your day.
Yeah, we can all do things like that. Small things, right? Like you just talked about, Janae.
Absolutely. So my next question for you ladies is, what does happiness from within mean to you?
The deep sense of contentment.
Yeah.
It's not being influenced by every other thing that goes on in your life. You can have bad days, you can have good days, you can have people say things and people, everything. Things can go wrong all the time. But I think when you have a solid inner, a tight center, and you've got that balance, and you really do love yourself, and that you're following your path, your star, then that is happiness from the inside out. For me.
It's really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. And I agree with what Lilamani said. I would add to that it's deep. It's a calmness deep down inside that allows you to get through the difficult and challenging times. And that there's something inside of you that knows that you will get through those really difficult times. There's that little voice is small and quiet, and yet you can hear it. And you listen to it, and you know that as time goes on, things will be okay. Things will get better in some form or fashion. You don't know how, you don't know when, you don't know why, but that feeling of it's going to be okay, even though it doesn't feel okay right now. And for me, that's what it's about. And the other piece, that self-love is a big piece of it. And also, I like the word faith just because that's the way I grew up. So that word resonates for me. I don't know if it resonates with others, but I trust and believe in my heart and soul that I'm being divinely guided. And that resonates very deep inside of me and has since I was a young girl. I don't know why that is so, but that's so. And that helps me manage through these. Doesn't mean that I don't have freak out days, because I do. Lilamani knows that.
Absolutely. We both
or
do.
sad days, or days where I'm just crying because of what's going on in the world or what's happened in my own personal life or what have you. I don't want to pretend it for any second that my life has been some storybook, because it's been far from it. I just know that somewhere deep down inside that there are lessons in life that I'm meant to learn. and there's things that I'm meant to teach, and that I connect with people in the way that I'm supposed to, and I'm doing the work, the life's work that Lilamani and I are doing, and that fills me up inside. That fills me up in a way that allows me to keep moving forward.
I truly, I believe the universe really wants you to thrive, actually, but it's like, and not just to get to the end of your journey, but to actually, some people are just running to the end, to the final line, and it's like, what are you going to do when you get there? But it's like to truly enjoy those little moments along the way, which is all these joyful things along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really deep what each of you shared. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we conclude the episode?
I mean, I would like to emphasize to our listeners that if we can do it, you can too.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds like, maybe we sound a little Pollyannish, because we're positive, but it's taken a lot of years, Janae. Like, I mean, it's been a journey of highs and deep lows. I know for myself, I've lost a lot of people in my life, and that's made me appreciate every moment even more so. And life is, the Lilamani always reminds me of this, life is short. We don't know when it's our time. We don't know when it's our loved one's time. I know. And so to be able to really embrace the joy gems of life, those simple pleasures that we were talking about. And I think, we created these joy cards to help people reconnect and help that they can get their joy back in whatever way. And the cards help people do that.
I think
because that's what everybody deserves.
Yeah. It's a reminder, isn't it? It's a practice, but it's also a reminder, and it just is easy. It's an easy thing to do. So it's a great way to just start if you're struggling with it a little bit.
Yeah. And everybody deserves it, Janae. We are on a mission. We really are on a mission to spread joy. And that's why we were so happy to be on your show, because we feel like that's the happiness from within. If we get real deep around it, that's joy. That's living a joy-filled life. If you have happiness from within, that's the essence. And so we believe everybody deserves that, truly. And we hope that people will take a moment today and look for those joy gems in their own life as a starting point,
That's beautiful. Did you have anything else to add, Lilamani?
No, I just think, please spread the word. Be joyous and then spread it around.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends.
Great. Well, ladies, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Happiness from Within. And I'll make sure definitely to put the link below for people to check out the joy card and also the 15-minute pause. And I wish you ladies a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too, Janae.